Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicleknight channel. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get Pokemon TCG code cards. Are you looking to complete your card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. And please remember to use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so that you can get a 5% discount. Please enjoy the discount and your purchase directly supports the content I create in this channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and for your supporting PTCGO. Would you like to win games without even trying? Well, I've got just the deck for you. Introducing Alolan VULPIX VSTAR from the Silver Tempest expansion set. I am taking a more disruptive approach to the strategy of this build so that it will become even harder for our opponent to attack or even knock out our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. So with that in mind, let's take a closer look at this card. It has 1 retreat cost, no resistance, and it is weak to metal. It has 240 HP, which is a bit on the low side compared to the other VSTARs, but if you think about it, this does make sense since Alolan VULPIX is an unevolved Pokemon in a VSTAR form, thus the lower HP. However, I also think it has something to do with its super powerful attack, Snow Mirage. For 1 water and 2 colorless energy, this attack deals 160 damage. This attack is also not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, which means this attack is unblockable. Not only that, this attack also makes it so that during your opponent's next turn, you will take no damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attack with an ability on it. Just think about it, there's a lot of Pokemon in the current standard format that will not be able to damage Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. There's Lugia, Arceus, Palkia, Cramorant, and more. But just remember that you must attack successfully to activate this effect on Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. It also has the VSTAR power attack Silvery Snowstar. For 0 energy, this attack deals 70 damage, multiplied by how many Pokemon V your opponent has in play. And if your opponent has 5 Pokemon V in play, you'll be dealing 350 damage, which pretty much knocks out any Pokemon in the game. Looking at its pre-evolution though, it's really nothing special other than its cuteness of course, but it does have an attack for 0 energy which can deal 10 to 60 damage. It's pretty much just there to evolve into its VSTAR form. And while Alolan VULPIX VSTAR can manage on its own against Pokemon with abilities, it can have a really hard time against builds that doesn't rely too much on abilities. But when paired with Palkia VSTAR, this deck is almost unstoppable. It's really strong. Palkia VSTAR has a powerful attack, Subspace Well. For 2 water energy, this attack deals 60 plus damage, and for every bench Pokemon that both you and your opponent have, this attack deals 20 more damage. So this attack can deal anywhere from 60 to 260 damage. And it also has the VSTAR power ability, Star Portal. During your turn, you can accelerate up to 3 basic water energies from your discard pile to your water type Pokemon in any way you like. Yes, this ability is only good for your water type Pokemon, but it's great for quickly accelerating energy to your Alolan VULPIX VSTAR so that you can attack right away and activate the invulnerability against ability users. Just remember that you can only use 1 VSTAR power per game, so choose wisely which one will give you the advantage. Either you deal 1-hit KO with VULPIX or energy setup with Palkia. Speaking of energy, I've also included 2 copies of Melanie. You can use this as long as there's a basic water energy in the discard pile. You can then accelerate 1 water energy from your discard pile to one of your V Pokemon, and then you also draw 3 cards. And really all you have to do is attach a double turbo energy on Alolan VULPIX VSTAR and you can start attacking right away. When going against Mew VMAX matchups, I've included 2 copies of Drapion V. It has the ability Wild Style, which lowers its own attack cost by 1 colorless less, depending on how many Pokemon your opponent has in play, that is a Single Strike, Rapid Strike, or Fusion Strike. With so many Fusion Strike Pokemon set up in a Mew VMAX deck, it will allow Drapion V to attack for free, and with its attack Dynamic Tail, it can deal 190 damage. It can knock out a Mew VMAX in a single hit because of its weakness to Dark. As for my other Pokemon, I have Radiant Greninja with its Concealed Cards ability. Once per turn, you can discard an energy card from your hand, after which you draw 2 cards. But it can also attack. For 2 water and 1 colorless energy, Moonlight Shuriken can deal 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and you have to discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. I also have Snorlax to help us draw into more cards with its Gourmandize ability, and of course Manaphy so that we can prevent attack damage to our bench thanks to its Wave Veil ability. Since Alolan VULPIX VSTAR centers its specialty in avoiding attack damage, we'll make it even harder for our opponent to knock it out. So I've added cards that will disrupt our opponent's setup. First, I will be using a 1/1 line of Ariados with a Hidden Threads ability, which increases the attack cost of your opponent's VSTAR Pokemon by 1 colorless energy. While you can stack this ability, that 1 extra energy cost penalty against your opponent may just prevent them from attacking you, and thus giving you the edge in the game. However, the downside is that this only applies to a V-Star Pokemon. And to make it even more difficult for our opponent to energize their attacks, I've included 4 copies of Crushing Hammers in this build. With a successful coin flip, you can discard 1 energy from your opponent's Pokemon. And to help Alolan VULPIX VSTAR to survive attacks even further is with the help of the Lake Acuity Stadium. Any damage taken by Pokemon with water or fighting energy attached to them will be reduced by 20 damage. And then we can even use the V-Guard energy, which will reduce attack damage from a Pokemon V by another 30 damage. And to add further disruption, I also have 1 copy of Lost City Stadium, so that when we do knock out certain Pokemon on our opponent's side and put them on the Lost Zone, it may just disable their deck completely. As for my other cards worth noting, I have Irida, which is perfect for this build. This allows you to search your deck for any 1 water-type Pokemon and also 1 item card. I also have 2 copies of Choice Belt Toolcard to increase its user's attack damage by 30 when going against a Pokemon V. And finally, I also have 1 copy of Wash Energy. When attached to a water-type Pokemon, it prevents effects from your opponent's attacks. Surprisingly enough, I really enjoyed playing this build. I like the disruption included in its strategy since you can prevent your opponent from energizing their attacks, which slows them down significantly. And this build is also really balanced when it comes to offense and defense. Overall, I think this deck is pretty close to a tier 1 rank in my book. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. Alright, let's get right into our first match. We will go first, and I do prefer going first with this build. Being able to set up your basic, and then you can start attacking as early as turn 2 even. With a completely evolved Alolan VULPIX VSTAR, or even your Palkia VSTAR. But we're going to start this one with a Snorlax to go in the active spot. We can use our Gorman dice to draw into more cards. We also have double Turbo Energy, which is really good. Got a Hisuian Heavy Ball from our top deck. Alright, we don't have any basic, but we do have a VULPIX VSTAR in our prize, so keep that in mind. We're just going to get 2 water energies, use Ultra Ball to discard these 2 basic water energies. That's going to set up for our Melanie. And we can actually use our Drapion V in this matchup because we are going up against Mew VMAX. But we're going to set up our Alolan VULPIX V first. Put a Choice Belt and also the double Turbo Energy, and we're just gonna Gormandize. And we actually drew into a Drapion V, which is really good. So my opponent's gonna start with the Meloetta, and this is actually this could be very bad because with Meloetta in the active spot, if they can find a bunch of Genesect Vs, they can attach a Fusion Strike Energy in the active. And then once they use their Elesa Sparkle, they can deal 200 plus damage, especially with that Choice Belt on it. And all they need is a boss or even an escape rope, and they can just knock out our Alolan VULPIX V. So that's that's the only thing with the Mew VMAX matchup is it's very, very dangerous. Even on their first turn, they can deal a deadly blow for a knockout, and that's why I actually included Drapion V. There's the Elesa Sparkle combo, and all they need is an escape rope, and they can just get a knockout off of our Alolan VULPIX V. They have Lost Vacuum. They're probably just going to remove our Choice Belt. And with that much energy, okay, they're just going to knock out our Snorlax. So our VULPIX survives, which is really good. And once we knock out this Meloetta, we should be free from those big damage with the Fusion Strike. So we're just going to use Melanie. Maybe we can have a chance to discard some of their energy switch. We got both of them tails, so those Crashing Hammers. It's always a 50-50 chance with that one. But that's okay. I'm going to put Lost City, get rid of this Meloetta, so they can't recover it. We don't need Manaphy in this matchup, so I'll just set up 2 Drapion Vs, and then what I'm gonna do is just attack with a regular attack with our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR, knocking out their Meloetta, putting it in the Lost Zone, and also discarding their Fusion Strike energies. Now, they cannot copy Meloetta's attack for a lot of damage, so we can be sure they can copy Genesect V's attack, and that's the most powerful attack they have right now. And with Choice Belt and also power tablets available to them, they could still deal a lot of damage. But it really depends on how well my opponent sets up. But with new VMAX now in play, we could just knock this guy out with our Drapion V, get 3 prizes for this, and then we're well on our way. So that price exchange is still in our favor, because even if they do knock out our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR, they only get 2 prizes while we get 2. And their only main attacker is Mew VMAX at this point. And we get 3 prizes for each of those knockout. So with 2 Drapion Vs available to us, we can actually... we have the advantage. So I think we are okay. We're going to be okay in this matchup, I believe. We also have Boss's Order, so either way, we need 5 prizes. We can even just target their Genesect V if we have to, or their other Mew, and that's going to help us get our 2 other prizes. Okay, they're going to replace the stadium with the Path to the Peak, and that can actually ruin our plan here. And they're going to Marnie also, because if we can't get that... Okay, we got Lake Acuity, which is really good, because with that Path to the Peak, we won't be able to attack with Drapion V for 0 energy, because that's going to disable our ability. So having Lake Acuity, thanks to that Marnie, is actually it's actually really good. And they only deal 220 damage, thankfully. So what I'm gonna do is just retreat. Let me replace the Lake Acuity first, because remember we have to be able to use that ability with Drapion V. So we're just having really bad RNG with those coin flips, man. Be really helpful right now, but we're just gonna Dynamic Tail, and we have to damage one of our Pokemon, and the most practical is just damage the active, because they're just gonna knock it out anyways. So we do knock out our their Mew VMAX with a single hit, because we are hitting for weakness, and we did get our other Alolan VULPIX VSTAR, which is really good. So they also have Lost City. And while they may knock out our Drapion V, put it in the Lost Zone, we have another one in our bench, so we can just use that. Even if they evolve into Mew VMAX, we can just knock it out, and yeah, we got this. I think we're good. Alolan VULPIX VSTAR can also use... We can also use its VSTAR power attack, actually. Since they have they have a complete V Pokemon in play right now, and we can deal tons of damage. But they're just gonna scoop. All right, good game. There you have it. All right, let's move on to our next match, and again, we get to go first. Once again, we're gonna start with a Snorlax, man. Love to see it. We have a Quick Ball. We can actually discard that Water Energy, again set up for Melanie. And then we can get our Alolan VULPIX V, set that up. And we're actually going against another Alolan VULPIX V as well. Alolan VULPIX VSTAR matchup. Okay. Drapion V is not going to be a useful card in this match, but I'm just going to set up my Vulpix here, and I'm just going to Gormandize. We have Choice Belt and also our V-Guard Energy, which will lower an attack from our opponent's V Pokemon. And we actually drew into Ariados. We can set up its basic, and with its ability, that's actually going to be useful in this matchup, because now my opponent needs 4 energies to start attacking. They're going to retreat their Vulpix. They're going to use Melanie to re-accelerate that energy to draw, and then draw 3 cards. And they're going to put their Miltank in the active spot. But Miltank is actually not going to help out in this matchup, because Alolan VULPIX VSTAR's attack is unblockable. So it doesn't matter if it has a Miracle Body ability to block V Pokemon's attack, it's not gonna work on our Vulpix. So we can evolve into a V-Star. Let's use this hammer. Dude, we got Hez. Nice. And then I'm just gonna attach the V-Guard energy. We're just gonna Gormandize. So we just need one water energy and then we can start attacking. We can knock out their Miltank. And if we had a boss, we can actually knock out their Alolan VULPIX as well. Okay, they are using Kirlia to draw into a lot of cards, so that they need to discard one card from their hand, and then that's gonna help them draw 2 extra cards. Alright, they evolve into Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. And they're gonna Marnie. Okay. That's gonna put our Ariados to the bottom of our deck, and then we can't even set up our Palkia. We got another hammer though, and we have access to Capacious Bucket, so we can start attacking with our Vulpix. But they're just gonna pass. We got a Melanie. Okay. We can draw extra cards with this, actually. Let's go ahead and use that. We got a Palkia V. Okay, good. And then we can try using this hammer. Alright, we failed. And then we can use Manaphy, because they're water type. They might have Radiant Greninja or something to hit our bench. So we need to thin out our hand anyway so that we can use Gormandize and draw for 3. The double turbo energy is not going to help out with Palkia because it requires water energies to for its attack to energize its attack. So we don't want to waste that double turbo energy on our Palkia V. So they now have Kirlia set up. They're going to start drawing into a lot more cards. And we have Ultra Ball. We could probably discard our Drapion V because, again, it's going to be useless in this matchup. And they're just going to attack with Miltank. 70 damage. What I could do, we got a boss's order from our top deck. We just get 2 energies with Capacious Bucket. And then we can put Lake Acuity into play. Decrease any damage we receive. And then I'm just going to hard retreat thanks to the air balloon onto my Vulpix. Discard these 2. And then I'm going to get Ariados. Again, that's going to disrupt my opponent's Pokemon. And I think I'm going to target their Kirlia because that's their consistency card. Without it, they might not be able to draw into the cards they need. So that's our priority. I was thinking of targeting their Alolan VULPIX VSTAR, but I think Kirlia is the better strategy. So now that we were able to initiate that attack, our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR is now immune to any damage dealt by any Pokemon with abilities on it. So this Miltank has an ability. It's not going to be able to damage us at all. But their Vulpix will be able to because it doesn't have any abilities. Alright, so they are able to set up another Alolan VULPIX V. And again, their attack does not do anything. Let's go ahead and use this Capacious Bucket. That's going to help thin out our deck even further. And we can start energizing our Palkia. And Snow Mirage is unblockable. So again, their Miltank is useless against our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. My opponent evolves another VULPIX VSTAR, and they have the double turbo energy, so they can actually start attacking, unfortunately. And their attack is unblockable. The only reason it's hitting for 140 is because of the double turbo energy. But our V-Guard energy is not working. The Lake Acuity is not working at all, so it is unblockable. We discard this other Drapion V, and then can start setting up another Vulpix. And we're just gonna Snow Mirage. 190 damage is pretty fair. We're a lot closer to knocking it out in the next turn, but the problem is now that they use their Snow Mirage, I mean, we could attack with our Palkia V. We could. Let me just put Snorlax in the active, I think. I need to draw into more cards. Let's evolve into Alolan VULPIX VSTAR. You know what, though? I can actually... Yeah, I can attack for 0 energy. Okay. Let's go ahead and use our silvery Snow Star. It's so hard to pronounce. And that's gonna get us 2 prizes. Alright, cool. So for no energy, because they have another V Pokemon in their bench, that actually increased our attack damage, and we're able to knock out their Alolan VULPIX VSTAR for 0 energy. Nice. So again, with the Ariados, it's gonna be a lot harder for my opponent to start attacking without any energies. Even with that double turbo energy. But they were able to use their V-Star attack and still hit for 120 damage, which is pretty smart. Let's see. I mean, Lake of Cutie can still be useful with our Palkia, but they can still attack with... They can start attacking with their Vulpix if they have an energy in their hand. Let me just use Irida for now. Evolve into my Palkia V-Star, and then we won't be able to use our V-Star power ability anyways. And then let's see what else we could do here. We can't attack. We need an energy. I can tank a hit with Palkia, but I don't want my Vulpix to get knocked out right now. Hopefully they don't have a boss in their hand. We just use this Quick Ball, and then let me get Radiant Greninja. Alright, I'm just gonna attack. 180 damage. So we can still damage it because they used their V-Star power attack. It wasn't the normal attack, which makes them invincible against Pokemon with abilities. So we were still able to deal that 180 damage. Again, thanks to Ariados. Man, having Ariados in this build, even just one line, is actually it's actually really good. Coupled with the hammers, I like this approach. I really do. It makes the deck a little bit more fun to play. They're gonna Marnie, which is okay with me. That's gonna help us to draw into extra cards. Okay, we got another hammer. Maybe that's gonna help us. If we get heads, man. Dude, okay, we have to discard a card, a Pokemon in our bench, and we're just gonna go with Snorlax. And let's see what else we could do here. They're gonna switch. Okay. They didn't get the energy. Alright. They didn't get the energy. Muse Hammer. Oh, we got Tails again. Let's use Marnie. Let's go ahead and use Marnie. Okay. Alright. We're getting some energies, which is really good. Let's put this Wash Energy, Concealed Cards. Get rid of that. That's useless in this matchup anyways. And we're just going to use Palkia to attack and knock out their active. And go from there. So all we need is one more attack to knock out this Vulpix. And that's gonna be game. But they have a boss. No! No! They knock out our Vulpix. That was our only chance of winning. Now that they've initiated that attack, we can't knock them out with our Palkia now. That's really bad. And I'm gonna use Irida, and I'm just gonna get this Palkia thin out my hand, and I'm gonna attempt to use Crushing Hammer. And we still have Ordinary Rod to recover our Vulpix. Let me try. Let's see. Let's see if we can stall for another turn. Oh, we got Tails. Oh no. Concealed cards. Hopefully we draw into our Oh, we didn't get our ordinary rod. This is really bad. Just gonna pass. There's nothing we could do. I should have gotten that ordinary rod. Oh man, that was really dumb. So now they need 2 more prizes. All they need to is to knock out our Palkia and they're gonna win. And I don't know how much energy. I need to conserve that double turbo energy to attack with our Vulpix. But we need to... I'm gonna use... Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to use Melanie. And we got our ordinary rod. Okay, good. So let's get our Vulpix line back to the deck. This is really close. So man. We have Quick Ball. We can set up our Vulpix, but we need space in our bench. Let's scoop up our Manaphy. Get our Vulpix. We can attach our double turbo energy, and then we can retreat our Palkia. But we need to be able to retreat next turn. Let's put Ariados in the active spot, and we're just gonna pass. Hopefully they don't have a boss, please. Don't let them have a boss, please. Oh man. So if they knock out our Ariados, they can get 1 prize. But all we need is 1 attack, man. We have Evolution Incense. We can get our Alolan VULPIX VSTAR to evolve. And all we need is a Water Energy. That's it. But it depends on what we draw in our next... on our top deck in the next turn. If we don't get Water Energy from our top deck, we lose this game. Although we can survive an attack as long as they don't have a boss. So they knock out our Ariados. Okay. I'm just gonna put our Vulpix in the active. Oh, we got a Vulpix VSTAR. We can tank a hit. As long as they don't have a boss, we should be okay. And the last 2 cards are Water Energy. So if they don't have a boss... if they don't have a boss, oh man. Big Parasol, Ultra Ball. Maybe they have like a Crobat or something. Flying Pikachu V. I think we got this. They don't have a boss. Oh man, it's so close. Snow Mirage, 140, Water Energy. Dude, that was so close. Good game, man. Oh, dude, that was an awesome game. Very close match. Man, I had fun with that one. Really good game, man. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.